All right, and we're live.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, we're gonna let it build. Believe you me, they will show up too. Absolutely, they will.
I mean, for me, I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
This is Tyler Jones.
Yeah. So hey, you guys, Recovery Cafe, Reclaiming Lives here, reporting from Medford again. First, I want to appreciate everybody out there taking time to watch and see what goes on. And today, I have a really good friend of mine who I've just enjoyed watching grow. His name's Tyler. He's part of my alumni Oxford house over at Mount Pitt, repping up Mount Pitt out there. Hey, Tony, hope you're feeling better. And I just want to bring Tyler in because watching his growth has been exponential. And he's just a joy to be around, and he's just got a really good story. And Tyler Jones. And I figure he's going to share a little bit about his story and what recovery means to him and what he does for his recovery today and how he's been growing. And we're just going to let it go from there. So how have you been doing?
Doing pretty good, you know, all the, you know, what's going on aside.
The chaos.
Yeah, the chaos. It's pretty crazy. Went trying to go grocery shopping and I was just, you know what I mean? Can't find no eggs, no meat, whatever though. But yeah, just work.
Hi, Tanya. We're proud of you. So you've still been for work? You still have work?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much long. I don't know if they're gonna close it down. Like, I work with like 250 people. So.
Right. So what have you been doing to prepare for this?
Just pretty much grocery shopping, you know, and trying to stay connected. That I think that's very important in these times. Like, right, is like if we seclude ourselves and isolate, that's when we get a moment of weakness.
So how have you been staying connected?
Well, I mean, my Oxford house definitely helps a lot. You know what I mean? Right. And I try and keep in close contact with my sister because, like, she's a
Who's
great
your sister?
supporter. Tiffany Atkinson. So
Tiffany Atkinson. What's up, Tiffany? If you're out there, we love you. She does peer support out here for the Rockport team, and she's just amazing. Big resource for us out here, and just a blessing. So your Oxford house, how's that going?
It's going pretty good, man. I mean, I haven't really been able to make it to my house meetings ever since I started the new job. But I mean, they're really a huge support system for me. You know what I mean? Those guys, I mean, as you know, they hold you really accountable and,
right,
you know, keep me on my game. And they just show me that, like, that there's more. I mean, I should push for more, right? Because they all go hard.
Yeah, Oxford House did numbers for me. We have Josh Lyons coming on next week. He's the Oxford co-chair. He's taking votes for the chair down here. If you guys don't know what Oxford House is, Oxford is a democratically ran, autonomous-based housing. They're self-supporting and they're recovery-based. And if it wasn't for Oxford House, I don't know where I'd be today and be able to be here for you guys here at the Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. So with that being said, Tyler, I want to say thank you for showing up today. I know you're super nervous, and that's my favorite part about you is when you're nervous, you really shine. So you do. So you want to tell us a little bit about your story?
Ooh, so I mean, born and raised here in Medford, right? It's a great place to be born and raised. And over the years, you just kind of like, so you like, I started out like any kid, you know, smoking weed when I was younger. And then eventually, when I was 16, my little brother passed away and I found him and stuff. And that kind of...
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It led me down a dark path, right? Because I'm the one who found him and stuff. And I obviously got into hardcore drugs and just kind of like chased the high for a while after that. But, you know, it really like, it's like, you know how when people say that like you wouldn't rather have it any other way, right? Because it's like led me to where I am today.
Amen. That's strong.
It's, you know, it sucks because like I lost my little brother, right? But he made his own choice. Yeah, but I mean, it's led me to this great life I have today. It's connected me with you, right? Like I would have never met you. And so now I just, it took me a while, but I had, you know, my sister who never gave up on me, even though she loved me from a distance for a long time, right? And
she knows she's in recovery as well.
Yeah, and she kept, you know, telling me, it's like when I wanted to make a change, like I knew where to find her, and you know, I you know, built everything up again, had finally gotten into a place, right? And like was living with one of my good friends, and then fucked it all off again because that's what we do, right? Like, you know, because I was still drinking and smoking weed because I was just like, yeah, I can just drink and smoke weed, and I can't. You know, as addicts, I don't really believe there's no on and off switch, right?
Right. One is too many, thousands never enough.
Yeah. And so I lost everything again, was living in my 1990 Honda Accord, vintage. And I decided that I just didn't want to live like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Hi, Braylon.
So I got a hold of my sister, and you know, it took a while for someone chasing me down. You know, making sure that I showed up, right? Because that was like part of the struggle, was getting up. And I went in and I went into detox, and
how'd that go?
it was man, I'm gonna tell you what, you know, you think you want something, and the first thing you do is you get in there and you're like, I don't want this, right? You know what I mean? And I really struggled with it, because it's like, in my head, like, once I was not loaded and stuff, like, and I was just like feeling all these feelings, right? I felt it wasn't what I wanted, and it was really hard going straight from detox into rehab, and like feeling like this flood of feelings, right? Because I'd never been clean before. I'd never been abstinent from everything. And I mean, I struggled in rehab bad. I was a mess. I cried every day. Every day.
I remember.
And
do you know what exactly you were crying about?
Just the feelings, I think, accepting the fact.
Building them back up.
Yeah, you know, like accepting that my little brother was gone, accepting that I couldn't change it, accepting, you know what I mean, that I was kind of fucked in the head. You know what I mean? Like, and just lots of stuff, right? Because it's like we put off these emotions for so long and just keep letting them build, and it was just a flood. But that, I think that was like one of the best things for me, was because in rehab, I didn't like hold anything back. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. I felt it all, and I dealt with, like, I feel like with what I needed to deal with.
Right. There's a point I remember when, so your sister and I, we were fundraiser at Oxford together, and we just seen how many, you know, we got to do some world convention together, and she was a big part of Oxford. And I remember when you came in to our Oxford interview, and we're like, we're not just going to let him. He needs to sell himself. Like, we're not going to let him in because everybody's going to think that we're doing Tiffany a favor, and that wasn't what it was. And you said a few things in there, and I know that you fibbed about being clean because your room was a mess. But other than that, you really, right? You really sold yourself. You sold yourself well, and you can tell that you wanted it. And, you know, we asked you, you know, what was different this time, and I remember you saying that you wanted to live. And that made a difference to me about when my vote was for you to get into Oxford. And it's been such a pleasure to be able to just watch you grow and give you another chance at life. You gave yourself a chance at life is what it was. And we got to watch you in rehab, and I watched you at a couple other interviews at a couple other houses. And can you tell me a little bit about what your recovery looks like today?
I mean, so for starters, it's like I try and have this policy where it's like, if I'm asked to do something, I do it like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't, you know, this is kind of nerve-wracking for me, right? But like you've said hundreds of times, right, is like, this is my comfort zone and nothing grows in it.
Nothing good grows in it.
Yeah, correct. And so that's like, I think that's really important. It was actually just having a conversation with my sister about that. It's like, it's, you know, it's one thing to abstain. It's another thing to be out there and be active. You know, I think that that's really important, is if you're trying to get into recovery, it's like, stay connected, like, do things, like, get out of your comfort zone, because it's like, I honestly feel it's like, this is the kind of stuff that I do that like really helps me grow. It's like, because it's crazy to think, it's like, you guys tell me that I'm like charismatic and this and that, and I'm just like, I don't see it. Well,
you have your in and outs, you know, like we all do, and you allow yourself to feel through those, and that's the most important part, Tyler, is that if you're feeling some type of way about anything and you keep that bottled in, as recovering addicts, we know one thing's fact is we don't make good decisions. Our decision making's been pretty vanilla most of our life. So you've been really good about, you know, taking those suggestions and doing things. And for me personally, when the magic happens is when I put paper to pencil.
Oh, and yeah, of course, that's a big part. You know what I mean? I'm on my 6th step right now. You know what I mean? And it's, woo! And I mean, that's important to me, right? Because it's like, I know getting that fourth step out of the way is like...
How was that fourth step?
It wasn't as scary as people made it seem, dude. I was just like, what? What's up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was liberating, right? It's just like, because they realized, like, for one, I had a lot of, like...
Say hi to your sister.
What's up, Tiffany? How you doing? But, you know, I had a lot of resentments against myself, right? And, like, finding out, like, you know, it's just, like, some of those things are just out of your control. You know what I mean?
How did you walk through those?
I mean, just one day at a time, right? You know what I mean? Just working over it, and, like, I never let myself get overwhelmed with it. You know what I mean? Because I realized that it was just, like, most of this shit had already passed, right? And then the feelings that were still there was just, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
it's pretty cool when you can write it down and let it go, huh?
Yeah. And I mean, that's it. Fucking did wonders, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it was really easy. It's just, like I said, it's like, if I ever felt like I was getting too, you know what I mean? I just take a break, walk away. You know what I mean? When I say a break, I mean a week or two, maybe a month. But the point is,
you got through it.
Is I got it done. You know what I mean?
We're super proud of you here at the cafe. And in Oxford and in recovery, and you're just such an inspiration. And so how do you stay connected in recovery through this whole pandemic of us being kind of social distance, and how do you do your recovery today? What does your recovery look like through this whole pandemic?
I mean, so realistically, I haven't really been able to do a lot, you know what I mean, because of work. But I mean, I've got invited to that Facebook group, the Southern Oregon Narcotics Anonymous Quarantine or whatever. And so I found out about Zoom meetings, so that's something I'm going to try and check out today, because I think it's important. I think that, you know what I mean, just staying connected and, like, having someone to talk to regardless, you know what I mean? And that's a big thing, is, like, I have my house, you know what I mean? And even if I didn't live in Oxford, is like, I've made sure to make these connections with people, right? So that if I'm ever in a bad spot, I know who to call, man. You know what I mean? And that's what's important, is you got to have a circle of winners, man, because...
You got to have a circle of winners. Good call. I love that. Yeah. And I want to let you know that, like, from the bottom of my heart, like, I know that with this new job, you've been a little distant because of the new job of the cafe, but I want to let you know that, like, we're here for you on one-on-ones, or I'm always here for you. Anything you may need to go through, dude, I'm here for you. I'm just so proud of you, and I'm super proud of the man that you're becoming, and we get to watch you grow. You were just a lost little boy, and you're turning into a pretty good man right now. You know, people are proud of you right now. What are you most proud of about you right now, Tyler?
I would say just, like, man, my newfound joy of life, right? Because it's, like, really easy to get clean, but then it's like there's all these fucking thoughts in your head still, right? And, like, those thoughts, I didn't care still, you know what I mean? Like, fuck my life, like, I just want to die, and, like, now I have to die clean, you know what I mean? And that was hard, man. It was like, there was a lot of days where I was like, what is the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm clean, but everything feels the same. What's the point? And so, you know, I'm proud that, like, now I, like, there's no bar, right? Because the bar is, like, infinite. Like, I can go wherever I want to go. And, like, that's what's, you know what I mean?
So tell us a little bit about your plan.
Oh, well, I mean, that's...
First, before you do that, I'd like to say, Tyler came to us one time, and he was working at a cell phone store, and I was in a circle with him, and we were talking and chit-chatting a little bit, and he's like, I'm like, well, if you're not happy at your job, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I don't know. So we had him come down and talk to Stephanie and I, and come to find out he has no felonies, he has a GED, and he has a driver's license, which we don't get to work with that kind of stuff every day. Like, you pretty much had the format there for you to do almost anything you want. So tell him about what that looked like.
So, I mean, yeah, it was, I came in here, right, and Brandon and Stephanie are sitting in here, and I think they, like, kind of thought I was going to have some idea of what I wanted to do, and I kind of did not really, right?
Kind of did not.
I mean, I just had these general ideas, but it's like, you know, when you've only done one thing, like, really consistently work-wise, it's pretty easy to be like, that's what I want to do, right?
Right.
And they, you know, they brought up some things to me and, like, some ideas, and, you know, so now they they just gave me the roadmap, right, to like going to school and like just succeeding, you know. So
and with the schools down right now, I just want you to know that, like, yeah, right, Tiffany. Could you imagine if he was an attorney? Anyways, I think that with the schools shut down right now, I just read online that they're going to hold classes on the blackboard, and I think that if you need any help with that, we're going to be here for you for that. So when we walked over to the school, you grabbed a bunch of you and I walked to the school, you grabbed a bunch of pamphlets. And have you really thought about what you wanted to do yet?
So I'm thinking either an electrician or a structural firefighter.
Okay, so and that's kind of what you were leaning on last time. The electrician not so much, but the firefighting part, yeah. And he needs a laptop. Yeah. We're gonna work on that, Tiffany. But I think that you did say, I know that you did say firefighter, and so your heart's pretty set on that?
I mean, I think that a firefighter, they do a lot of things, right? And whether that goes like, I mean, it sounds fucked up, but going to help an addict, Narcan, you know what I mean? Whatever. I want to be a part of this community, right? Like, and I want to help because like, especially like, where do you get all your joy, man?
Answer Tony's question.
Man, my joy just comes from like the life I live today, right? I'm fucking surrounded by love. I'm just like
dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, just what I do. Sorry, guys. It's hard, right? I'm mouth of a sailor. But there's just no why. The better question is, why wouldn't I be joyful? And that's where it really comes down to, is like I lived so long just so depressed and just like not caring, that it's like I love my life, right? And I love the experience that all the experiences that I've had up until now, and I just want to just keep growing, right? So.
Right. Do you guys have any more questions out there for Tyler before we go to wrap this up? I like to leave it about 15 minutes or so. First off, I'd just like to say, Tyler, it's always a pleasure having you here. The cafe is not the same without you, so if you need me to call down to Amy's Kitchen down there and tell them that you need Sundays off because of family emergencies for the rest of your life, you go ahead and let me know. I'll make that phone call.
Let's do it.
But yeah, for you guys out there, Tyler's an inspiration. He never gave up on himself. He doesn't give up on what he believes. He stands firm on his truths, and I know today that my life isn't the same without you. Like, you definitely became like my little brother. And yeah, we're always hungry, by the way. To me, you're my little brother now. You're not just an Oxford brother. Like, you're my brother, just not only in recovery, but for life, man. Like, I'm so proud of you. Let's give it a couple more minutes before we go to see if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns. And then we can wrap this thing up.
Ask me about my vintage 1990 Honda Accord. It's for sale.
No. Yeah, we appreciate you guys, and all the Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafes out there that are watching. Our hearts are with you as you guys go through these trials and tribulations that are just so treacherous right now. We can't do this alone, but we can definitely do this together. We're going to do this together. Let's love each other from a distance. Let's not stop loving one another. Remember, wash your hands, don't touch your face, social distancing, which we are not doing right now. Try to keep everybody healthy. Love your loved ones, and remember, give back. Give back to your community, give back to what it is. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there right now, and we need to be the difference makers. We need to be those chain breakers. That's what we need to do right now. So it's 11, 17-ish, 18-ish, and I'm going to let you guys go. I got it. And if you guys need anything from us at the Recovery Cafe, 11 to 3, Stephanie and I are in here Monday through Thursday. If you need to call us, Stephanie's number is everywhere. My number is 541-890-0590. You can come call us. And is the cafe open? So yes, so the cafe is not open, as I just touched my face. The cafe is not open. No cafes are. But we are holding our circles Tuesdays and Sundays. And you can come up, and if you need to get oriented and get into a circle, Come see us between 11 and 3, Monday through Thursday. You can call me, Tanya, and we can figure something out. We all need to stay connected. So with that being said, we love the heck out of you guys. We're going to check the messages on this as we go down the road. Shelly, what's up? Angie, what's up? And just keep fighting this good fight. We love you guys so much. God bless.